Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back today with another video because I wanted to talk a little bit about the Golden State Warriors and the offseason that they just had. Now, it's no secret that for the past 8 years, the Warriors have been one of the best teams basically ever that we've seen in the NBA. They won, 3 championships in 5 years, and then just 2 years ago, they added on a 4th championship. And for the past few years, ever since they picked James Wiseman, it seems they've been trying to do this kind of 2 timelines where they have the Steph Curry-led Warriors that are competing for championships, but then they also had the young guys that they were trying to develop alongside this team to kind of be the new generation of Warriors. And it's kind of been a failure. James Wiseman didn't get enough development and also just kind of wasn't that good. Jordan Poole just got traded for Chris Paul. But Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are still on the team, and they're kind of the last remnants of this 2-timeline project that just didn't really seem to work out for the Warriors. So going into this season, the Warriors kind of leaned fully in the direction of going all in on the Steph Curry championship era of the team. They went and got Chris Paul, Dario Saric, they signed Rudy Gay, and they even brought in Corey Joseph, who I think can be a pretty solid third-string point guard. Starting with Chris Paul, if you watched their first preseason game, I think he looked pretty good out there. I think there's a lot of question marks around whether he'll be starting on the team or coming off the bench. But I think it's pretty safe to say that either Chris Paul or Steph Curry will be on the court when the other one's not. And I think that addresses one of their biggest issues that they had last year, which was whenever Steph Curry wasn't on the court, the offense was terrible. And not to kick Jordan Poole after he's been shipped out of town, but whenever he was the lead ball handler on the team without Steph Curry on the court, things were pretty bad. That's not to say that Jordan Poole won't be a good player, and I'm excited to see what he can do in Washington, but it just wasn't working out last year on the team. Not to mention Draymond Green punching him in the face and kind of making things go sour from there. But Chris Paul should be a big help for the Warriors this year. Now, there's a lot of people who say he might not really be able to fit in with the offense given his play style. He doesn't really move the ball in a flowing offense. He's been much more ball dominant and runs the pace of the offense. But I think with a player like Chris Paul, his high basketball IQ, he'll be able to adjust and fit in where he needs to be on this team. Now, Rudy Gay, back in the day, Rudy Gay was a real bucket getter, but obviously he's pretty old now. And last season, he shot pretty atrociously from 3. He was also a little bit down from the 2-point range. But I think on this team where he doesn't need to do too much, he can kind of just be a steady veteran presence. If he can hit open shots in the flow of the offense, he'll be a valuable piece. He plays solid enough defense still, even though he's pretty old at this point in NBA terms. Not that he's an old man, but I think he should be at least a decent presence on the team this year. Corey Joseph, I mentioned, could be a solid third-string point guard. He won a championship back in 2014 with the Spurs. I don't know if there's really much else to say. Solid shooter, can hit open shots, can run the point. And I think on a contending team like this, he could be seen as a relatively valuable depth piece. But lastly, one of the pieces I'm most excited to talk about is Dario Saric. I was pretty high on Dario Saric back when he came in the league, but obviously he's kind of had a lot of injuries and some ups and downs in his career that he's not quite the same player that he was. Maybe he can get a little bit back to that, but he's an exciting player, I think, for this team because he brings a lot of size. He's like 6'10", but he can also handle the ball a little bit and be kind of a secondary playmaker on the court. He's the kind of guy that can grab a rebound and then take off up the court off the dribble. And I think he'll fit in nicely within the flow of the offense. He can move the ball. If he can kind of get back to where he was a few years ago, shooting spot-up threes, I think he'll be an extremely valuable piece in the Warriors' offense. Now, one of the things that was weird on the Warriors last year was their discrepancy between their home and away records. They were by far the best team in the league at home and one of the worst on the road. And I think with this team, they'll kind of be able to make that more consistent where they won't be so terrible on the road. I think Chris Paul will steady a lot of that. Veteran players like Rudy Gay, Dario Saric might be able to help stabilize the team. Moses Moody and Kuminga are still there, and I'm excited to see what they can do. Maybe they end up getting moved if the Warriors want to make a real push for the postseason. And by all signs, it seems like their main core isn't really slowing down anytime soon, because Steph Curry's obviously still Steph Curry. I don't think there's much to be said there. Draymond, it seems, is still Draymond on defense and as far as playing the point forward kind of position. And Klay Thompson, I think Klay Thompson's taken the most obvious step back, where he missed 2 full seasons due to injury, and he's getting a little up there in age, but I don't know. I still think there's a lot to like about Klay Thompson. He's still going to hit threes. It's just preseason, but I saw him hit a 3 off the dribble over Anthony Davis. You know, things like that. Those are good signs. And I think the Warriors are a pretty dangerous team. I think they're pretty much a lock to make the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make some noise in the Western Conference Finals, maybe even make it to another finals. Kevon Looney is still there. I forgot to mention Kevon Looney. He's just a great guy to have on the team. Grabs rebounds, plays defense, can, get maybe 10, 14 points every once in a while with putbacks and hustle plays. Wiggins, going to play good defense, rebound the ball, put the ball in the basket a little bit. Overall, there's just a lot to like about this team, and I think they've really gone in the right direction, moving away from having this young core that they're trying to develop that doesn't really help towards winning now, and bringing in some guys that can help the established core hopefully add some more championships. So I'm thinking maybe the Warriors will be probably in the top 5 seeding of the West, maybe even higher. It's kind of hard to tell based off of the up and down last couple seasons they've had, but when the Warriors are at their best, it seems like there's no other team that can compete. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the Warriors can do this season. I don't think they're going to necessarily win the championship. I don't know if I have them making the Western Conference Finals. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. But let me know what you guys think about the Warriors down in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like and maybe subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.